Odds to Program, the podcast where we try to get you into a band. That's right, we've done all the work for you. All you have to do is push play and listen. And this week, Sunbeam is more than a loaf of bread. Maybe I'm making that up. I don't know if I am or not. But listen, when you have Aussies on the show, sometimes they bring you Aussie music you've never heard of. Today we're talking about Sunbeam Sound Machine. You reached out about this, Josh. Actually, I think, do I have this backwards? Did Jamie put it on the board? Just you reached out to me about, hey, we should do it?
Yeah, a bit of a joint effort.
Ah, there we go.
Well, yeah. When you put the name through.
So, well, I guess we'll start. We'll start with Jamie then, because a little role reversal. We'll put Jamie on blast first. You put him up on the board. Why did you want to talk about this band?
They're just like, he's a really good, chill song producer. Like when you're listening to his music, it kind of puts you in a good, relaxed state. Some of it kind of, I wouldn't say puts you on edge, but gives you that kind of really deep, brooding feel to the songs. It's very much my vibe, and the fact that he's Australian and from the same city I'm in is kind of a bonus. So yeah, he's a Melburnian.
So Josh, you reached out to me and said, "Hey, I've got time coming off. I think Jamie would be keen to do Sunbeam Sound Machine." I obviously that can't be the only reason you wanted to do it. Maybe that's a reason why I bumped them up. But what is it you like about this artist?
Yeah, well, it's kind of what Jamie's alluding to. I've always found that the music's really immersive, and while the melodies that Sunbeam Sound Machine have are quite poppy, the production is on a lot of the tracks is quite murky, and I don't know. I think it lends itself to repeated listens. Like they're a band that's grown on me over time.
I feel like, I only had in total maybe 3 full listens. I had the first time through everything, second time through making cuts, and then third time through listening to my 20 today. And already I could feel myself gravitating towards the songs that I picked. So I think you're spot on with that. I think this there is something rewarding about a band like this that is kind of murky and melty at points. Like definitely a lot of melty sounding guitars that to me, it speaks to me. Like, is this a band that I'm going, to pull out as, hey, this is my top band? No. Is this like, you guys had put me on to nothing last time? Is this like a band that's going to skyrocket? No, but like this is definitely, to repeat the point, something that is well worth your time to listen to because you are going to get rewarded for that. So this isn't a deep discography, Jamie. Like how did you go about plucking your 20 out for it?
So I think I just listened to each album and picked out the songs that stood out, and then so getting my list of initial songs wasn't too bad. I did it over a couple of days, listening to an album once a day and what have you. But then what I really struggled with was just which ones were going to make the 20. So I think, because unlike yourself, Josh and I had kind of been curating our top 20 for quite a while. So at the start of the year for me is when I started doing it. And I think after a month, I'm like, okay, top 10 solid. And then it took like another month to go, okay, I think I've got 15. That last 5, it was so difficult for me to figure out what stays in. So, like, because I also couldn't help myself listening to my top 10 because it's just so solid. Like, his best tracks are just, they hit the spot.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So same question to you, Josh. Like how, now that the cat is out of the bag, you guys have been working on this one for a while. Like what are you looking for as you're putting your 20 together? Is there something you're leaning or trying to pluck out?
I find that the Sunbeam tracks seem to go into different categories fairly easily. Not in terms of picking me my 20. Geez, I just went full bogan then. Picking me 20. um, but I think like over the albums that they've got real different production values, and I find that you can pick off different sounds to add to the playlist. The first album definitely had this far away, murky sort of psychedelic quality to it, whereas the production over time gets a bit more I wouldn't say poppy, but cleaner and maybe almost like hi-fi compared to the older stuff. So I think just finding a mix from their early stuff and their latest stuff, because I think the songwriting quality is pretty similar. It's just the production style that's changed over time.
1,000. Were you going to say something, Jamie? I don't want to cut you off.
I was more thinking like I agree with Josh. I wouldn't say poppy, but the term I used in a lot of my tracks when I'm going through and writing my notes is boppy. So
I get that.
Huge change.
So very similarly to what you were saying, Josh, like I found myself like I locked in immediately as like, okay, so this is what it is, and not finding it too difficult to find what I'm gonna pick to come through the second round. And then when I get to Wanderer, I'm like, oh wait, you put a little bit of production to what he's doing, and suddenly it's on this whole other level, and it's got my attention in a whole different way. And that's not to discredit anything that came before it, because as I mentioned, I enjoyed it. I'm finding it easy. But that first record for Wanderer, that's where it all got difficult for me, because like as I'm going through Wanderer, I'm like, oh, this works, and then we had a couple singles in between that and Goodness Gracious, and like I was like, oh my god, I like these a lot too. And then Goodness Gracious has that next level. I'm like, oh okay, the production's just going up, which is great. But it made it, I ended up in that same dilemma you did, Josh. Like, do I lean towards production because it might be more accessible to people, or do I just lean on songwriting? So like I tried to have this nice mix, and I agree with what Jamie said. Like I'm somewhere in between here, because Possum is the most recent work, and like my instinct is to go, yeah, that's really poppy, but like it isn't. It's that like degree off from pop. It's kind of similar to I'm trying to remember which Beck record it was. There's a Beck record where it's like, I'm going to write a pop record and then I'm going to take the dial and turn it just one to the right. And so it's like not exactly pop. That's what Possum felt like to me.
You're spot on. You're spot on there. And I think as well, because I know that so Nick Salisbury is the guy that he's the band. It's kind of like Tame Impala, where it's just Kevin Parker, but it's the songs are under the Sunbeam name. But I kind of think as well, you can sort of hear it and hear the sound of someone maybe getting better at production, maybe like refining the songwriting style, because it's all his music, and he's playing everything, and et cetera, et cetera. And I feel like and that's another thing that comes into choosing the tracks. Like we've mentioned Wanderer, and even the tracks before that, there's this like sort of naivety to them, and like this charm to his earlier stuff, and maybe it's kind of warts and all, even though it's very densely produced. Whereas Possum's more refined, and he's getting better at writing songs. And whilst sometimes you lose a bit of charm when you get later into your time and becoming better at producing, or even just music in general as a songwriter, it sounds more professional. Whereas the earlier stuff might sound a bit I wouldn't say amateurish, because it sounds great, but it's got a whole different charm to it. And I'm thinking maybe that comes into it as well. That's my interpretation when I hear it anyway, because I've read a few articles saying that he pretty much he records it at home and plays it himself.
So
Yeah, like I get that because I think when I delved into them initially, the one because I usually listen to my music via albums, and I think I listened to pretty much Goodness Gracious. That was just the album I listened to, which is probably the neutral part of it, where Possum is a lot more towards that poppy side, and Wanderer is a lot darker and brooding, where Goodness Gracious is probably the in between.
mm,
So that's probably a good neutral album if people who like listening to bands from albums to come into them with.
I want to hammer home Josh's point here, and about him recording at home. And it sounds like such a negative when it comes up in this way, but like it's not. Like, I can't do that. I've done home recordings. They don't come out sounding this well. But like, there was that feeling of like, I don't know how familiar you guys are with like a car seat headrest, waves, but like yeah, it has this feeling of this dude is just in his garage or in his bedroom or in his closet or something, and just sitting to himself writing music. And technically, like, sound wise, I'd put this above those two that I mentioned, but like, it does have that almost, not quite lo-fi, but like almost there, like homemade, like, in the most loving way possible, homemade. And I found that, to use Josh's word, charming. Like, it brought me in. And then when the production starts kicking up, then I go like, okay, like, it puts the songwriting more on display, which is like, oh, cool. Like, he's getting better at production and songwriting, like, any artist should be doing, I would assume. But that brings us to the always scary layer of the conversation, because you never know how this is going to go. Again, this isn't like some massive discography. I think it's like 2 hours and 43 minutes, like 40 something songs, I think. But Jamie, let me grab my what do you think, based on everything we've just said, how many do you think we get through unanimously?
So I think last time with Nothing, I was very optimistic with 5. I think, again, I look at my list and go, how can we not get a solid 10 out of 10? But being realistic, with the fact that people have different opinions and thoughts to me, I'll go with 3.
Okay. All right. I can see that. What are you thinking, Josh?
Yeah, I think 4 is the way to go.
Man, you nabbed my number. 4 was the one I was eyeballing. I just feel like, while it's agreeable, it is still hard to nail the exacts. So now the question is, do I go further negative and go 2? 2 seems entirely too low. 5 doesn't seem out of the question, but 5 seems like at least close to the 4 that I wanted. So I'm going to go with 5. All right. We're going to take a quick pause, and when we come back, we're going to play the game. It's deprogrammed, Jack. Kickstart your road to fitness with the Hard Work Works fitness app. For all ability levels. Full gym, no problem. What's included? Over 200 workout plans available for every situation, from a full gym to no equipment at all. Nutrition guide to help you stay on track, and all of this is only $10 a month. There's a special offer for Deprogram listeners. Use promo code STUPID and get your first month free. The Hard Work Works fitness app. Decide, commit, succeed, and join the hustle today. And with that, the name of the game is Deprogrammed. The 3 of us have come through the Sunbeam Sound Machine discography and plucked out 20 songs that we're now going to mash together in an attempt to create a top 10 starter kit for you, in case you have never given them a chance, or maybe never even heard of them. You know, this is what excites me about this show, because again, this is a band I've never heard of. And chances are, if you're listening in America, you've probably never heard of them. So you got a chance to push play on a new band. So now the question goes, do I do the thing that I normally do and lock in on the sound, or do I go where the band locked me in? I feel like I need to do that one. I feel like I need to go, this is the moment I went, there's more to this band than I thought. I'm going to go with Wandering Eye.
Yes.
Sorry to let you down, boys.
Okay, so it's not unanimous, but at least I didn't, throw a dart and completely miss. We got a 2. That's all right. All right, Jamie?
I'm gonna go with what I think is the top song of his, and that's Talking Distance.
Nope.
I got it. All right.
Nice.
I will give that song credit. They played that live, and I feel like it's kind of different to a lot of the other songs. It's a bit muscular, if that makes sense, and sort of relentless. It had a real chunky sound live, which some of the other songs are a bit more eerie. So I'll give it props for that, but no, it wasn't in my 20.
It's funny because on my notes I also got Awesome Listen Live. So
eerie. That's the other word I wanted to bring up, because it's not quite spooky. It's not quite like scary, but melty was the closest thing I could come to. But eerie, that's definitely the word I was looking for. There is often an eerie sound throughout this discography. All right, Josh.
I think I'll go with Fever Dream. I just think it's like a perfect mix between sort of shoegaze and psychedelia.
I got it.
I got it.
Hey,
Yeah.
There we go. And so it begins. I'm into it. I think it's playing.
Oh, it's got a super long fade in, which is like no good for the program, but that is my note. Like off the fade in. I don't know. I feel like this chord progression, I don't know, it's kind of magical how it plays. It's just a really evocative track, and it's probably, I think in my eyes, the best version of that sort of intense effects laden atmosphere that Wanderer has.
Yeah.
Kind of like walking through a dark forest at night vibe.
Well, I hope not, because I've been in a dark forest before, and hearing someone go "oh" in the forest at 1 a.m. in the morning. Sorry, it's a bit of, I wouldn't even call it an in-joke, Justin, but it was a scary experience that Jamie and I experienced with some of our mates.
Oh, maybe that's for after the fact. If one of you, here, I'm gonna make a note of that. Walking in the woods. In the woods. We'll come back to that.
And I don't want to give away the ending, but we didn't die, so
clearly. After the fact, folks, if you want to get in on it, patreon.com/oh hi Justin. All right. We're back to me. I was listening to these earlier, and shoot, both of these songs I kind of was like, "Oh my god." I liked both of these a lot more than, to Josh's point earlier, like each time I listened to them. Like the first time I listened to it, I was like, okay, this is definitely first pass material. Second time I listened to it, I was like, yeah, clearly this is on my 20. And then when I listened to it today, I'm going to go with the second one. When I listened to it today, I was like, oh, wow. I'm so glad I picked this one. Getting Young.
ugh.
Yeah, sorry, I don't believe that's on my list either.
Oh, I should have went the other way.
Now this is the often repeated comment that we heard in nothing, but that was in my spare 5 or 6 after like 25th on the list, I think it was.
So what got me today was like, at one point in the song he goes, "Take me back to '95," and I'm like, okay, that's the refrain, right? And then the next time it's no, "Take me back to '94, take me back to 1993, 92, 91." I was like, oh, he's just counting backwards. And I don't know, man. I'm a sucker for that kind of simplicity sometimes. So, and then
I think the reason Jeremy not in choosers because if we did go back to those years, eventually we wouldn't be on the podcast because we wouldn't even be on the planet.
Your boy would be 10 if we went to 1990. So, all right. He whiffs. It was bound to happen. I'm glad that I'm the first one to do it. So, all right. Jamie?
Gotta go with another solid hitter. In Your Arms.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. There we go. That one felt like a gimme. I don't know why, but it just did.
Pretty much.
Beautiful. Beautiful sound.
Yeah, like, because I've had the luck of seeing Sunbeam twice live. When this song came on the first time I saw him, it was like everyone just looked at each other going, God, we're so glad he played this song. And that was an odd gig for many reasons. Partially because it's the first gig I've been to where the headlining act came on at 5 o'clock. And it wasn't a festival or anything. So never been to an afternoon gig before, but that was the first and a really good one too.
I believe in afternoon gigs, but I'm also a really old man, so get me home by 8 o'clock. I'm good.
It was weird. Like, it's 5 o'clock. I'm like, I guess I get dinner now. Like,
Yeah, that's grouse. It's funny how you look at things when you're younger and you're like, oh yeah, that sounds kind of silly. Like obviously afternoon gigs, but also like I remember I used to be like, oh, sitting down at a gig, why would anyone do that? And then once I like got forced into doing that just pre-COVID, I'm like, this is grouse. Like my feet are in agony. Like I've got this horrible routine of just like sort of like bopping up and down to the drum beat, the bass drum every time I go to a gig. So sitting down, like it actually probably kept a couple of years on my life, I think.
There we go. All right. Josh, you are up.
Okay, I think I'm going to go with I Dreamt I Saw You in a Dream. I just love how that song progresses. It's, it got a really, albeit it was before Wanderer, but I feel like, I don't know, this was the first song that got me into the band, and it's still a song that, like, I'm captivated by.
I got it.
I don't.
Oh, thank God.
Nah, honestly, I love how chaotic this song gets at the very end. Like the cymbals, the acoustic guitar progression and everything. It's such a fun listen.
Yeah, I'm just a sucker for dynamic shifts, and whilst I usually prefer a dynamic shift like Nirvana, it is quite loud. Like this one's a more drawn out experience, but it's still it hits that peak. It just builds and builds and builds, and by the end, it's this beautiful crescendo.
I hate that I don't have a real answer. I think this just became like as we were talking about before. This just became I'm trying to even things out loss. I don't think I have a true reason, but I will. Since we're there on that record, I'll go with one of the ones that I did have, My Love.
Oh, that was 21.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't have that one.
See, I should have called the audible right there. I could have called the audible and said, you know what, I'm gonna drop My Love and make I Dreamt I Saw You, but the integrity of the list is far too important for me. So should have went with my gut. Okay.
This song though, like, albeit like I didn't pick it, but it would be an interesting addition to a playlist because it is a lot different to his other stuff. To me, it's like sort of like got this slight 60s sort of soft rock vibe to it.
Absolutely. For whatever reason, like there's a song that specifically is coming to my mind, but the name of it is escaping me. So maybe listen to After the Fact. Maybe it'll come to me by then. All right. So your boy misses. All right. Jamie?
I'm gonna try hit another home run. See if Warrior sticks.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got it. Jamie, look at you.
Look, I just know what's good.
I like the confidence.
Well, you know what? You know we're talking about how the sound progresses over time. This is like, in my mind, the closest he's gotten to recreating that early atmosphere from Wonder Art for like the last few years. Like, it's got a huge atmosphere, but like, it's a really nice harmonies in it.
Mhm.
I love that synth that sounds like the old like wind sounds on games. Like, I don't. It's a horrible description, but I'm sure you know what I'm talking about when you hear it.
Yeah, you're dead on, man. Like there is this. This is like, what if we produced some of the earlier stuff a little bit better? And it's like, atmospheric is the other word that I somehow left out of my description. But like, this puts the atmospheric like beautifully on display.
Yeah.
All right, Josh.
I was gonna say I'm trying to think tactically now, but that'd be a lie. I'm just choosing the songs I like. I think I'm gonna go for a song called Two Summers. It's a song off his latest album, and I just think it's fighting on like a broken record. But it's, I don't know, it's just got this really nice sort of bittersweet feeling to the song.
I got it.
Hey, all right. I don't, but looks like we are going to, let's see, 3. Oh man, we still got a couple more to get us out of NTP, but we are gonna have ourselves a combo. Back to me, right? I had the big long speech last go round, and I'm gonna pick the other song, Cloud Breaks.
Yeah.
I don't have that one in my list.
All right.
Ah, stuffy.
Well, twos are good right now. Get us out of that NTP at least. We don't want to be one of those episodes. All right, Jamie?
I'm gonna go with I promise that I'll try to give you all my love.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I don't have the final say, it looks like, but that's okay. We're getting more home runs.
You are on fire today, Jamie.
Again, I know what's good.
Just like that, we're sitting at Josh's 4, and my 5 doesn't look like madness anymore.
Well, this song is just like, I wrote down, so sweet and so positive. I don't know, a different feeling to a lot of their different other songs.
I love how this is precisely what we were talking about. It's like, it is on its front, it's poppy, but if you listen, it is that dial to the right. It's like a saccharine sweet pop record, but dialed just to the right. And that combination on this song, it works beautifully. All right, Josh?
I'm gonna go with a song called Cosmic Love Affair.
Oh, can't save you.
Sorry, mate.
I can't help but wonder if you're tanking to hold on to that final say.
I'm too stupid to figure out something out like that.
Okay, let me dial it up so we can give it a listen real quick. Cosmic.
Yeah, I don't know, this song, I don't know, he's just, sometimes the songs, like, you feel like he's not in any sort of mood, but here he sounds super frustrated, and it has a big lo-fi sound to it. You'll hear in a second. Oh, I think I've forgotten the progression of the song when it eventually.
When the lyrics come in, right?
Yeah, in about 2 seconds flat.
Almost.
I've clearly invented a single version in my mind. You know, this is something. I'm trying to think. I dreamt I saw you in a dream. I was even thinking of that when I've listened to it, albeit. Oh, there we go. But a song I liked, but the start of the song just continues over and over. I'm like, I would cut that if I was putting it on the radio. But this isn't going to be played on the radio. It's, as you said, it's a bit too much dialed to the right.
Mm-hmm.
Even though they're great songs.
All right. I still don't feel like I've clicked into you here yet, gents. Let me take this swing. Let's see. How about Anyway, Anyway?
I got it.
Nah, sorry.
Now I'm wishing I would have taken a note because I was listening to that earlier and now I can't remember what song it reminded me of.
Actually, the one thing I like about that song, well, it's a couple of things. I feel like it sums up the Goodness Gracious album quite well. It might be the fact that he says the name of the album in the song.
Oh.
I don't know, but there's that. But then also, I don't know why, but the kind of high guitar that's in the song, for some reason, reminds me of the Spyro soundtrack.
Oh, nice.
And some of the songs in that.
I remembered what it was. Have either of you guys seen Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind?
Oh, yeah. Is that the one with Will Smith?
It's Jim Carrey and Kate Winslet.
Oh, that sounds very familiar.
Okay, well, I will short frame it for you. Jim Carrey is dating Kate Winslet. They break up, and there is a machine that can erase your memories of that person. Kate Winslet goes and does that, and then Jim Carrey finds out, and he's like, "Okay, I'm going to do it too." And so the movie takes place in Jim Carrey's memories, and he's trying to stop them from being deleted because he's changed his mind. There's a lot of music that sounds like Anyway, Anyway in there. And so, like, when it struck that chord with me, I was like, I can't remove this song. The second it connected on that level for me, I was like, okay, well, this one's in. So, all right.
It's a good one.
So Anyway, Anyway was me. So Jamie.
I don't know if I'm going to hit a home run with this one, but I do really love this song. Is It Possible?
Yeah. Is this the Crime Stoppers guy singing? Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
That deep voice.
I don't have it, but a two's good.
I just love it. Like because when I listened to him live the first time, I wasn't super into his new album, and it's really grown on me the more I've listened to it. But this song was so left field when I was listening to it live, and just hearing how he changes his voice and deepens it live using the foot pedals. It's a fun experience to watch.
So just like that, we officially have a conversation, folks. We have the 4 unanimous and 7 in the convo with plenty of gameplay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I still got 10. So yeah, we got plenty of time left to break this 4. Josh, you're up.
I'm going to go for Whistle While You Wait next. I'm partial to any songs that sound like I could play it on the drums, which is probably 1 or 2. But I don't know, it sort of reminds me of that sort of relentless drum beat from the song Sing by Blur. It's just like very shoegazy, just dum 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 dum. I don't know why I love every song that sounds like that, but yeah, just
I got it.
I do not.
So my reason for taking it, and obviously I went with Wandering Eye first, but this was the song that I was weighing against leading off with, because I like to lead off with whenever, song 1, album 1, if you tell me what you are from the jump, and I think this does a great job, but like I went with Wandering Eye first because I feel like I felt it more important to show the evolution, and then we can go backwards. But I think Whistle While You Wait is a great introduction to what you're about to get with Sunbeam. So, let me try out some of my possum stuff here. How about Timing is Everything?
Yeah. It's good.
I do not.
Okay.
Oh,
All right. It's got a 2. And all we're doing is making the conversation harder, Jamie. Just saying.
Yeah.
All right. You're up, Jamie.
All right. I think this is another home run, but we'll see. Paradise.
no.
I got it. So you're almost there.
It wasn't quite a home run, but it wasn't a bunt, so I don't know what that is in baseball, but
A single, maybe?
yeah. An easy run to the plate.
Fielder's choice. All right.
Yeah, Jammo, you're gonna have to come up with cricket analogies, mate. I'm totally out of my depth when it comes to baseball.
All right. Josh?
I'm gonna go with Silent Era, purely because when I heard it live, my estimation of the song went up.
Yeah, I've got it.
Well, I can't make that unanimous, but it's got 2.
Conversation is gonna be brutal.
Mm-hmm. Again,
It's funny because it's the next one on my list, so we're just knocking it down in order.
okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, maybe we do like 2 more rounds and then dump out.
Yep.
I keep passing by this one. I might as well see. Sound of Glass Breaking.
No.
No.
Wow. Wow. That's why I kept passing it by.
I would love if that song title though, if for some stupid reason makes me laugh. Like maybe just play that sound effect randomly throughout the show. Just to, like, it relates. It relates.
All right, Jamie.
The next one I really liked. Like the more I listened to it, the more I really enjoyed it. And it's Somehow.
No.
No.
Ah,
Is that your first
I think
miss?
that's my first miss, but I'm okay with it because I've found a song that's probably, to me, an underrated song of his. Just because of how dark and brooding it is, and then when the vocals come in as well.
Yeah, look, Jeremy, that's your first strike, mate. Baseball thing.
All right, Josh.
I think I'm gonna go with Real Life, in this round.
Yes.
No.
That song, kind of a bit like Cloud Break. I don't know. I feel like he's got a good niche at writing songs like that. That sort of widescreen psychedelic pop.
Yeah, it's got a great soundstage to it, I think.
You know, I'm going to go with this one just because I do feel like the name of this song is also a description of his music. Autumnal.
You're spot on, but I don't have that.
Is that 2 no's?
That's 2 notes, sorry.
That's all right. Sometimes you take them risks. I went for the joke instead of a real play.
You know what? Yes, it's a joke, but it's actually spot on. I've put on End of Summer in my notes for some of the songs, so like that is autumn.
Yeah,
or whatever it's called.
Especially Wanderer. Like I feel like there's something very October. No, you know, it's October, November for us. To Wanderer, like something about leaves falling, and you know, like it's on par with Smashing Pumpkins' Adore. Like it gives me that same kind of vibe, like as far as like where it puts my mood. So all right. Jamie.
I'm going to go with Mutual Life.
No.
Yes. All right. MUT. This conversation is gonna be brutal. All right, Josh.
I'm gonna go for Odd Connection. And what sort of puts it over other songs of its ilk is I think it does sound a lot different to the rest of his discography. It's got a sort of a more typical Lindy vibe to it.
I got it.
I do not.
Okay, so two. All right. So I got 1, 2. I only got 3 left, so I'll just dump them off in rapid succession here. Hold Me Back.
No.
See, I was right. Mind You.
I've got that one.
All right.
That was in me spares.
Mind You is me and Jamie. And last but not least, Easy.
I've got that one.
Oh,
Nope.
Easy.
Again, real third wheel vibes coming on here.
It's obviously you listen to them for different reasons to us.
Yep. Let's see. What was my first one there? Hold Me Back. Let me make sure I mark it off. All right. Whatever you got left, Jamie. You got a couple that you might be able to get into the combo.
All right, so I've got Near Memory.
Yeah, that just snuck in.
All right.
V.
Yep.
Wow.
And I know you don't have this one, Josh, just from talking to you outside of the podcast. Songs About You. Only because it is different from all these other tunes and having that feature in it.
No.
All right. And just for funsie, Josh, you want to dump out whatever you got?
Yeah. Ceasefire.
That's in my dump list.
Yep. True Love. Space Face Devotion. And Elsewhere.
All right. So we got 4, right? We didn't pass it. Unanimous 4. So Josh, you will be getting the final say here. So the 4 in already in your arms: Fever Dream, Worrywart, and I Promise That I'll Try to Give You All My Love. And oof. So we've got, let's see, 18 that we need to whittle down to 6. And well, technically 5, because one of them will be Josh's. All right, so we've got Whistle While You Wait, I Dreamt I Saw You in a Dream, Odd Connection, Wandering Eye, Real Life, Cloud Breaks, Anyway, Talking Distance, Mind You, Silent Era, Timing Is Everything, Mutual Life, Is It Possible, V, Two Summers, Easy, Paradise, and Near Memory.
Fuck, the list just goes on, doesn't it?
It just does. So the first one I'll admit I was wrong about, because this one was a close one for me, as I Dreamt I Saw You in a Dream. Unless anybody has any objections, I feel like we can pop that one through.
Yeah, I was listening to that list and going, that's got to go through. 100%.
So let's do that first. All right. So was there another one that kind of came up, Jamie, that you're like, I can't believe that one didn't hit all of us?
I think Anyway, I believe is probably a good one to have in that list.
Any objection, Josh?
Nah, I don't feel strongly enough about it to say no. It was in my spares. It's like 25th, so go for it.
All right. So, and then same question to you, Josh. Is there one that you can't believe we didn't get through?
Maybe not can't believe. But I think for the purposes of the playlist, and I think putting in Silent Era would be a nice one. Very slightly different vibes.
All right, I'm the odd man out there, so unless you object, Jamie.
Nah.
All right, so let's do that then. So that, that part is the easy part. 7 down, 2 to go. So now the question of, do we care about representation? It looks like we've done a really good job of it on accident.
Yes.
So do we think that comes into play at all, or do we just say best 3 remaining?
I mean, I tend to lean more on his newest albums, so the newest 3. Although, even though it was a small album, his self-titled one does have a decent representation for how many songs it's got overall in my list of 29. So
I'm looking at, so we've got 1 through on Possum, which we got through unanimously, right? And by the looks of what's remaining, we all agreed that Possum is a good record because there's 1, 2, 3, 5, 8 songs still alive from that record.
that's the album. Okay. I think honestly, Paradise should be in that list.
Okay.
Ooh. Nah.
It's either that or Two Summers. Was that one of the unanimous? No, it wasn't.
I'd much rather go to Summers, purely because I just think it's a better song.
Okay.
But and live it was beautiful.
I'm willing to go with Two Summers. So,
and Justin, this is the song that has that bittersweet end of summer feeling to it. So sort of autumn, fall.
Yeah.
Got to go in for the bit.
All right, so if we grab Two Summers, that brings us up to 8.
Jeez.
So we one more, and then Josh gets a final say. So I guess the next question is: do we take another from Possum, or do we call it quits on that and look elsewhere? Wanderer got 2.
What are the songs outside of Possum that are still in?
Aside from Possum, or still from Possum?
Yeah, aside from Possum.
Okay, so Whistle While You Wait, Odd Connection, Wandering Eye, Real Life, Cloud Breaks, Talking Distance, and Mind You.
Surely Wandering Eye, right?
I mean, look, I don't want to throw around any kind of weight here, but Wandering Eye is definitely where I locked in onto this is something different than what I thought it was. Where I locked into what he's progressing into. Like this is when I locked into the artist as a whole. And I was like, from that moment on, I was paying a lot more attention for whatever that's worth.
I can't say no to that justification. It wasn't in my top 20 odd, but like the point of this playlist is to make sure that someone new getting into it or it stands out to someone and they get hooked to the band, and you've made a really captivating sort of reason for why it should be in the playlist. So I think, yeah, all right. Lock it in, Eddie.
There we go, and that takes us up to 9. And you can pick outside of the list that's remaining. I, of course, would prefer it be on a live song, but you don't have to do that.
Sorry, Justin. Can I get you to repeat the songs that are left in again?
Sure. So, Still Alive. I Dreamt I Saw You in it. Wait, sorry, I'm on the wrong list. There we go.
I'm pretty sure we got those songs.
Yeah. Whistle While You Wait, Odd Connection, Real Life, Cloud Breaks, Talking Distance, Mind You, Timing Is Everything, Mutual Life, Is It Possible, V, Easy, Paradise, and Near Memory.
Oh God. Before I go to actually choosing a song, just to make a joke, Jamo, about 2 songs being in there, or that we've already had that song in the playlist. I don't think you should be the one to say that, because in the last Nothing podcast, you put the same song twice into your top 20. So I'm going to remind you of that again because it just goes directly back to what you just said. But anyway, that's tough. That's really tough. In my order, I had "Is It Possible" the highest, but in terms of playlist composition, I think "Cloud Breaks" is a type of song that should be in there, or a particular part of their sound. So I think "Cloud Breaks" is my choice for that one, Justin.
There we go. So let me do that. And then I will type final say next to it. Not that anybody ever gets to look at these lists. But it's it's bookkeeping, if you will. All right.
The history.
Yep. Here we got "I Dreamt I Saw You in a Dream," "In Your Arms," "Fever Dream," "Worrywart," "I Promise That I'll Try to Give You All My Love," "Anyway, Anyway," "Silent Era," "Two Summers," "Wandering Eye," "Cloud Breaks" is our final say. Now let's crank it down to that next level of those 10, Jamie. Which one is the one?
The one. I would be leaning towards "I Promise That I'll Try and Give You All My Love."
Ooh, okay. What do you think, Josh?
As much as I love that song, I'm just going to go into playlist mode in my head, and that's, as I said, I really enjoy that song. It's got a really nice, positive vibe, which is sweet. But I feel like if you're to choose a song to lead off a playlist such as this, you sort of need something that, as close as possible, represents all the eras of the band in terms of sound. And for what we sort of said before, I think Worrywart is that mid ground between their really atmospheric, murky early stuff, but that also, like, I'll call it widescreen quality in terms of like really like well produced, like lovely song. I don't know. I Worrywart's something I'd be sort of sticking my head out for the lead off song.
You read my mind. This isn't to go because Jamie, you played exceptionally well this evening, but to me, like and I wouldn't have picked it going in. I wouldn't have guessed, Worrywart is the one. But when you really think about like where it lines up and how it sounds, I feel like it has the best accessible version of what they are, and you can put this at the top of a playlist. You can give this one song to somebody, go, hey, this is what they do, and if they're willing to have the conversation, kind of go, yeah, they get a little muckier before this, and then a little after it gets more like depressing and fall. Like there's a lot of ground to cover here, but I think Worrywart is a great way to pop it off.
And you know what? I don't disagree with that. I'm more than happy for that to be number one.
Hey, look at that.
It's just hard, isn't it? Like, you just look at the list, you're like, this is what's fun about the program, but also kind of torturous, is that you're arguing against songs you love for this one.
Yes.
That's why I always go to the default. But for the playlist, I just try to think about what I'd do if I was getting someone into the band.
Yep.
And Worrywart, I suppose that was the first. I know I Dreamt I Saw You in a Dream was the first one I got into, but Worrywart was the first one I like played the skin off the vinyl, so to speak.
All right.
Even though it's technically not on an album.
Yeah, you're right. It's just kind of out there on its own. All right, so Worrywart is our number one. I Dreamt I Saw You in a Dream, In Your Arms, Fever Dream, I Promise That I'll Try to Give You All My Love, Anyway, Silent Era, Two Summers, Wandering Eye, and Cloud Breaks rounds out our 10. Let's let Worrywart get its moment in the sun. Yeah, come on. There's also something very beachy about this song, but like you were at the beach too long. I don't know what that is.
That could be what the Worrywart is referring to.
Possibly. I worry that I was at the beach too long. I'm sorry. All right.
Justin, apparently he he's from a town in Melbourne called Seaford. So
Oh.
I actually think you're on something here.
Wow. Okay.
And maybe that synth isn't a wind sound. Maybe it's the waves coming through.
Maybe.
You know.
Maybe. More on this again after the fact. But we have done it, folks. We've turned you on to Sunbeam Sound Machine. And if you were like me and had never heard of them before, then look at that. We turned you on to a new band. You're welcome. Very welcome for that. We did all the hard work. That's the motto here. But again, we're going to keep talking. And if you want to hear that, it's on After the Fact, which you can get by going to patreon.com/ohijustin. $1 a month gets you in the door. It gets you all the audio content, which includes, as mentioned, the After the Fact. It gets you deprogrammed before the rest of the world. And it gets you a monthly Oh Hi Justin episode that I'm trying to make sure I stay on top of. And, you know, maybe an occasional one where I just kind of talk about what the hell's going on in my life. So that's your Oh Hi Justin patronship. If that's something you'd like to do. Obviously, we're a podcast. You're listening to us on some podcast platform. You can subscribe, rate, comment. That would mean a great deal. We'd appreciate that. You can also listen on the Legion of Stupid website, legionofstupid.com. If you do that, you can also sign up for episodes. There is a sign-up sheet. If you go to legionofstupid.com, click podcast, click deprogrammed. Not even halfway down, sign-up sheet. Tell me what band you want to talk about. If it's one we haven't done, we'll get it on the list and we'll find a panel for you, and we will talk about it. Like, how do you think this happened? Do you think I came up with Sunbeam Sound Machine? I didn't. This is not my brainchild. So we will talk about it, and we will grow to love it together. That's what we do here. Also, you can check if you want to see Josh episodes, you want to see Jamie episodes, you can click on their pages. It'll take you right on to the episodes that they've been in. If you want Justin episodes, well, baby, that's all of them. Ha! Yes! I remembered to do it this week. And also, let's see, what else is there? I did the subscribe, rate, comment, join the Discord, all that. That would be fun. To me, the best way you can help this show, though, is by telling somebody that you listen to Deprogrammed. Word of mouth is the greatest and best publicity a podcast can get. Tell somebody you listen to Deprogrammed. I would appreciate that. And with that, Sunbeam Sound Machine. Learn and love them, people. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.